Back into the ring. This fight brought to you by Security Pest Services. This is scheduled for 5 rounds of boxing in the strawweight division. Referee in charge is Joe Miller. Your judges at ringside, Pat Egan, David Sutherland, and Bill Marshall. First off, introducing in the blue corner. Weighing in at 108 pounds, he is undefeated and comes to us from Tokyo, Japan. Let's hear it for Sachiyo Shibata.
Well, I think you can tell right there this is going to be a heck of a fight.
Well, Sachiyo takes personal the fact that Stephanie didn't like that stoppage.
Weighing in at 107 pounds with 8 victories on her record, 5 of those by knockout, comes to us from the home of the Lions, Moore, Oklahoma. Let's hear it for Stephanie Dobbs.
Oh, I can't wait for the bell to ring.
You might want to keep them apart here during the explanations. I don't see a lot of fighters either with crushed velvet shorts, Dale. This is different.
Oh, I'm up for this.
Now, there are some that say Sachiyo threw up to 100 punches in that last fight in like a minute or two.
Her goal is to throw 200 punches a round. That's what they time her out on the bag in a 2-minute round. That's more than a punch a second. We'll see. Well, there we go.
Well, you didn't have to wait for him to mix it up.
That's 20 punches right there. Stephanie's moving her head a lot, and she's not getting caught with these punches.
Nope.
In the first fight, every punch was landed.
She's moving, ducking. She's responding a little bit.
Sachiyo's holding her power back right now. She's not swinging with all of her might like she did in their first fight. She's pacing herself a little bit, but boy, Stephanie's left side of her face is already red. But she's moving her head and ducking punches really good.
Well, a lot of what's coming on the left side of her head, too, Dale, are those glancing blows that are landing kind of more like slaps.
I think the crowd is stunned at the number of punches they've already landed on each other.
Nice right.
Right.
Nice right by Dobbs.
You know, you hit her, and she blinked her eyes and just kept throwing.
Now she's starting to connect a little bit more.
Dale, if you're Dobbs and you hit her square and all she does is blink and keep throwing, what do you think?
Boy, you think you want to move, but you can't run because Sachiyo just sticks to you. Sachiyo,
nice
I think Stephanie's doing a good job. You know, she's taking some blows and she's against the ropes where she doesn't want to be right now. But up until that point, she's done a good job of staying in the middle of the ring. Moving her head like she did right there, making Sachiyo miss. Sachiyo's missed a lot more in this fight than I've ever seen her miss.
And remember, this is pure boxing.
And we're talking 5 rounds to go.
I don't think so.
I don't either.
Stephanie's landed some punches of her own.
But she's getting tired. Her hands are dropping. She needs to keep that defense up.
Well, you hear the Japanese instructions from Sachiyo's corner with 10 seconds to go in round 1. And Stephanie Dobbs definitely lasted that round.
Boy, Sachiyo is she's solid, isn't she?
Very strong.
From head to toe.
I tell you what else, she's in shape. She is throwing that. You throw that many punches, the average guy, and he's asleep. He's so tired already. She is in shape.
Sachiyo weighed in, I think, at 108 for this fight, but she'll fight anywhere from 104 to 125. She's given up as much as 20 pounds in women's boxing and still undefeated. She's stout, strong, very lean.
Look at her in the corner, and she's breathing like she's, jogged around the ring, but she's not breathing like she's been throwing 200 punches. And Dale, I guess the thought is if you throw that many, you're just going to land more.
Oh, if you throw 200 and land 100, that's 100 punches the other girl got hit with. So it's not a bad strategy of offense, because we've never seen Sachiyo do defense because she's never has to.
Never had to. Right, yeah. So it's a little bit like basketball. The more you put up, the more they're eventually going to go down.
Yeah.
Can she speak English? She doesn't know English, really, does she?
No, she doesn't speak much English, and her corner man and trainer there, Masahiro Hata, doesn't speak very good English either. So he knows all the words. He just says them with such a Japanese accent, nobody can understand them.
Well, in the second round of the Energizer Bunny.
Dobbs came in weighing at 107.
If you're Dobbs' corner, what do you tell her in the break, Dale?
Well, I told her to do what she's doing now. Stay in the middle of the ring. The only trouble she got in was when she backed straight up and got caught on the ropes. In the middle of the ring, she's slipping most of the punches and able to land some back. But you see now Sachiyo's bulling her to the corner, and Dobbs is trying to fight her way off the ropes. She just needs to keep moving to the left.
And she landed that left just then. Sachiyo's right hand is pretty low.
Nice left to the body by Sachiyo. She's starting to connect a little bit more frequently.
Yeah,
now.
and it's starting to hurt a little bit more, too. You can see Dobbs get rocked a little, see her knees get a little bit rocked every time.
When we were making the matches for this fight over in Japan, one of our affiliates is Samurai TV, the 24-hour martial art channel in Japan, and we told them about the big main event with Manson and Wrath, and that got their attention. And we told them about Tokyo Joe Tsuchiya defending his title. That got their attention. But when we told them Sachiyo was on the card, that's when they wanted the TV rights. She is quite a hot dog and very famous in Japan.
We talked about earlier in some of the fights the leverage. Look at the legs on Sachiyo and the hips, how she gets leverage on her punches.
Boy, she keeps her knees bent and stays low and hits with leverage. You're right.
Yeah, she's fighting downhill. I mean, she's coming at you the entire time and putting a little bit of that body behind it.
You know, Stephanie Dobbs really doesn't look any worse off than she did at the beginning of the fight. A little red in the face, but she doesn't look tired. She doesn't look like she's been hurt. And we talk about how many punches Sachiyo's throwing. Stephanie Dobbs is throwing a bunch of punches herself.
You know, I think Stephanie might have gained a little momentum or a little confidence just to survive through that first round.
You're right.
How do you judge this, though? With that many punches being thrown and landed, Dale Cook?
And no punch stats like HBO. I don't know.
I mean, that really is tough.
I can't imagine this going 5 rounds, guys.
I can't either. By the way, congratulations to Dale Cook. He got honored during the intermission. That was well received.
That was a nice surprise from the kids. They gave me a plaque. That was really nice. I was really proud of them and the demo they put on.
Mike West and some of the group up in the ring saluting Apollo for the work he has done with the kids for so many years.
I don't know how, as a judge, you keep up with that at times.
I don't either.
I mean, you know, but by the time you actually kind of say to yourself, all right, that was a nice combination, you're 5 combinations down the road. It's like trying to keep up with, it's kind of like to keep up with a road runner on a tricycle.
CompuBox, that little punch stat they have, if she was on HBO, that thing would blow a fuse. Yeah, it'd be smoking. Nice left by Stephanie Dobbs.
These two are more active than if you yelled free beer at a redneck picnic. I mean, they are after each other.
This is scheduled, as we mentioned earlier, for 5 rounds.
Well, this is the third, and I'm almost surprised it's lasted this long.
Same here.
Oh, Sachiyo really seems to be loading up now as she's putting some power in those shots.
More to the body, too.
Stephanie's still busy, but she just doesn't have the hitting power to back Sachiyo off.
Neither one of them really worked the body at all. They are just going right for the noggin. Ooh. There we go. Now she works the body a little.
Got to give credit to Stephanie Dobbs.
Kid.
She's a toughie. 105 pounds of dynamite.
And she's landed 7 or 8 nice shots to the face. They just haven't been hard enough to back Sachiyo up.
I don't think there's a woman in the world at any weight that can beat Sachiyo right now.
Probably not some men in the world that could beat Sachiyo right now.
I think your buddy David Cardamon wants to call her out.
Is that right? Well, you know what? I might probably see that one.
I'd pay.
I would, too.
I'd pay. The referee tonight, not Kevin Nix or Dr. Paul Strahan.
No, this is a boxing match, so Joe Miller is one of the licensed boxing referees here in town, and a good one. And he might be remembered by some Tulsa Fight fans for a really great battle him and Cecil Pettigrew put on here in Tulsa a few years ago.